about 3 years ago, I decided that I was gonna set a daily tracker on NoFap. If you don't know what that is, it's basically papers like these. You put on the days, day 1 through day 30, for example, and you decide that you're not going to watch porn for any of the days. Basically, you check the boxes. Now, what do you think happened? As someone who was addicted to porn for most of his life, what do you think happened to me that day? Do you think I just quit because I decided to? Do you think that because I have a tracker, I magically stop watching porn and I fix my addiction? No. I relapsed on day 5. And that's the reason why this video is titled the way it's titled, because a lot of people who have been addicted to porn 40 years think they can just quit by changing something. They think they can just quit by setting a tracker and deciding that they're not going to watch it again. And what that leads to is them ending up relapsing. They end up failing and then feeling worse about it and then spiraling into a worse addiction. They're worse than they started. So if you're watching this, you probably have the same mindset. You probably have the same problems. So with that being said, one thing I can tell you is that you need to stop with a no-fap streak garbage. No amount of streak is gonna save you. This is not a streak indicates that it's gonna add at some points. A streak indicates that that thing is gonna end. So when you tell yourself it's a streak, that means you're gonna watch porn eventually, one time again. So I want you to make that mindset switch. It's a lifestyle. It's like fitness. It's like working out. You don't tell a beginner to go in the gym and bench 200 pounds of weight. He's not gonna be able to lift it, and even if he can, he's not gonna be able to rep it because it's simply too heavy. So with that being said, I urge you to make that mindset switch of is a streak is not a streak, is a lifestyle. You slowly deload it, you build into it. It's like the gym. It takes years of education, of studying, of hard work. And that's how you start on the right path. You give yourself more forgiveness, more space to realize that this is an addiction that may take you months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years to solve. It took me it took me about 3 years of my life because I've been addicted to it from a very young age. It all depends on when you started, how often you do it. This all are factors into the addiction. Understand that you cannot just quit by deciding to quit. You cannot put that type of pressure on yourself. You're not equipped to handle that pressure. You can't give pressure to someone and just expect him to handle that. It the person you need to become to quit, you need to mold little by little. And that is a long process. And I even talk about this in my course a bit more in my community about how grace and having a forgiving mindset could take you a long way in the nofab journey. If I haven't watched porn in 2 years. I've been clean for 2 years as someone who's been addicted their most of their life. One of the most simplest mindsets which I made was realizing that this is a lifestyle. This is not a streak. This is not a little cute challenge. This is something that you have to eliminate from your life. It is no longer appealing to me because you realize that you need to build real love. You need to actually serve God. These things come from you changing the mindset first and realizing that porn is an evil thing. But at the same time, you cannot be yourself about it. You cannot negative talk yourself because you realize that most young men out here are doing it with no guilt. You watching this video, you trying to solve the addiction is the first step. You're already ahead of 99% of people. What that means is that you cannot beat yourself up because negative talking yourself, beating yourself up, is just gonna lead to a spiral. So that is one thing I urge you doing is adding grace, forgiving yourself, not being so toxic toward yourself. Treat yourself as a person. That is one of the roots causes. Do you treat yourself as a person? When you look in the mirror, do you respect yourself? If you don't, then you got bigger, deeper issues to worry about. That's one of the things why porn addiction is just a symptom. Is not the thing you need to solve. There is something else below it. A lot of the time is the self-esteem you have, some childhood traumas you had as a kid. All these things will take a long time for you to unravel, and I'll talk to you about these topics in more future videos in depth. Just let me know. But one thing that I want to leave you with about this is having the mindset that porn is a long life journey. It'll take you a year, 2 or 3. If you're good at it, you'll quit in a year. But it will not take you less than the amount of time that you watched it. For example, if you've been watching it ever since you were a young kid, it will take you way longer to quit than someone who just started watching a year ago. But understand this is a journey, and I'm willing to hold your hand through it. My name is Mustafa, and I'm here to change your life, quitting porn and building real love. Have a good one, bro.